Hey, good evening. I would like to call the Wall City Council meeting, March 7th, to order. And have you started recording?
Yes.
And I would like Carolyn to read roll call, please.
Welch. Here. Morgan.
Here.
Stan Anderson.
Here.
Houston.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
Hawk.
Here.
Mike Anderson.
Here.
We do have a quorum.
Okay, let us stand and say the pledge of allegiance. Here, you can lead that for us today.
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any order of business for emergency?
No,
Do we have any attendance on Zoom?
we do not. No.
And so that brings us to the police report. Welcome.
Thank you. So really don't have much to report. I know we had 26 calls for service, to the Prairie Village area. That kind of ranges anywhere from our extra patrols, to, we had a couple of assaults and disturbances out there. It's kind of the main point that we wanted to bring up and stuff. Also, if we could talk with the school about keeping the doors locked at night. I know we've had several law enforcement officers have to go through there. Mainly it's the the west side that's been open. And it's pretty hard for one law enforcement officer to clear that building by ourselves. So if we could bring that up as well, that was something that I was asked to bring up. Other than that, I don't have anything else unless the council has something for us.
Was that 26 calls just for the month of February?
Correct. Well, yep.
Oh, no schools on fractions.
No.
Slowed down out there.
Our presence has been slowly increasing out there, yep.
I'm not sure who you are. I'm sorry.
I'm kind of new here. I've been here for 5 weeks now. I'm Deputy Austin. I'm the new 1-year rotation spot out here.
So you come in from Rapid?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
And so I think also, the lieutenant gave me a call, and it sounds like we'll have 2 new officers by the end of the summer.
Yep.
The 2 of them headed off for 13 weeks
Of training and peer, yep. All law enforcement officers in the state of South Dakota have to go through that.
okay, so they'll do their 13 weeks there, and then they need to, work on some training around here. Is that the next step
Yep,
after
so,
13 weeks?
yep, as soon as they're done with the peer stuff, they have to go back to Rapid and go through the Pennington County training. Depending upon how they do, it could last 3-4 months
Okay,
before they actually get on their own.
okay. So anyway, it's encouraging that we'll have to. I know Deputy Cordell, I believe, is going back to Rapid. Is that true? And
Right now she's training new deputies, so she's
Yeah.
kind of traveling between here and there.
exactly.
Yep.
So, okay. Are there any other questions or concerns for the deputy today?
I don't know about you, but I have concern about the suicidal subjects. We had 3 in January and 3 in February.
So I know 2 of those were the same individual. Again, I can't go too much
Yeah,
into
yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff. But I actually spoke with him today and he's actually in much better
okay.
spirits, so
Okay.
we're keeping an eye on.
Okay. Just,
Yep, yeah, but it's more comments being made that we're dealing
Gotcha.
with, so.
Okay.
Is there like a call center and then they call you?
Yep, so all of our calls go through the dispatch in Rapid.
Yes.
And then it'll come to us unless they contact us directly, or we talk to them on our own, where we go out there and speak with them, just to do like a checkup.
Very good. I'm glad to hear they're improved.
If I could just comment on the school doors situation. We did have a board meeting last night and I did the concern and, we are in the process of getting a new locking system that should take care of that.
Okay.
Because they can time it for when it will be shut. That way, if anybody does leave it open, it will automatically lock down.
Okay, I will pass that along as well.
Thank you.
Very good.
Anything else for me?
Have a good rest of the evening. Be
Thank
safe.
you, you guys too. Thank you.
Is there anyone that needs to declare a conflict of interest based on anything on the agenda tonight? Seeing none, the minutes were included in the packet. May I have a motion to approve the minutes
So move.
for the February 15th? Stan has moved
Second.
and Dan has seconded. Any questions, concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, included in your packet also was the City of Wall claims and the fire department, the library. Does anyone have any questions of Carolyn on any one of those claims from the city or the fire department or the library? There's no. Okay, Mike has moved
Second.
and Kelly has seconded. Any other questions or concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. That brings us to the items to be reviewed this evening, which include the on-call employee and the schedule for the weekends. And also included are the ambulance minutes for December and January, as well as their financials. And the minutes from the fire department as of January 9th, as well as the special meeting that they had on January 21st. And the golf course financials were included. The water usage, so that Gary could answer any questions you have there. The sales tax and the BBB tax report and the budget expenses as of the end of February. Are there any questions or concerns on any of those items? Rick, did you go to the tourism conference this year? What are they predicting for tourists this year?
I think it's gonna be good,
It's supposed to be strong?
Yeah. comparable with last year.
Okay, I was a little bit surprised on our sales tax being down 2 months in a row, so I'm hoping we come. Okay,
We were up in January, weren't we? I thought it was 10% up and then February it's down. Or did I read that wrong?
let me get back to
And
that.
I think this month was off to a really good start.
Mm-hmm.
This month is,
Yes.
well, the basketball tournament in Rapid is definitely gonna
Oh,
help.
that helps a lot.
Actually, the sales tax in January is down 5%. February was
Went like
12.
that.
Yeah, that's why I'm just wondering what they were saying at the tourism conference. Cause I thought it was supposed to be good, so,
Yeah, we had a great year last year and I think it was gonna be comparable.
okay, well, that is good news. All right, that brings us to item 11 on the agenda. And we have Fred Folsom with us tonight, and he would like to visit with us about garbage.
Yeah, talking trash is what I do for a living. That's what I do. I asked, Carol a number of weeks ago if I could come down and introduce myself. Many of you have seen me before. And, you know, I'm a local business owner now. I employ 2 Wall residents as employees and a staff of 45 employees. And, we now have local offices in Quinn, South Dakota. And, you know, we have been operating down here with the Badlands I've had for the last 4 years and some commercial businesses here in Wall. And look forward to the opportunity to, you know, invest more in the city of Wall as the city of Wall contract is coming up and continuing to make monetary and people investments in the community. You know, I'm a proud local South Dakota small business owner and look forward to investing in the community of Wall. So this is more of an introductory opportunity to say, I'm here, we're coming, and going to make a big investment in the community of Wall as a small business owner.
Fred, can I ask, what's your company's name?
Sanders Sanitation. I'm also the owner of Hills Septic, Hills Toilet Service, and A to Z Shredding.
Oh, wow. What's the last one?
Folsom, like the prison. And Stan, I've been a supporter of the golf tournament that we've had out there, and I'm really excited about the next chapter of Sanders Sanitation in this market. I pick up more residential homes. I have, you know, the city of Box Elder, the city of Leeds, city of Deadwood, city of Hot Springs, Edgemont, Custer, Hermosa. I pick up approximately 15,000 residential homes in western South Dakota. You know, very proud of what we've done. We continue to grow. And this is the next market of expansion that I've committed to.
Fred, how about the rural customers out in our area?
Absolutely. That's the exciting opportunity. I have a number of those now. You know, we go to Interior, you know, right now we do twice a week service. But that's rapidly going to become 5-day-a-week service now that we've established offices in Quinn, South Dakota.
So tell me about that, the offices in Quinn, what,
It's unit number 58 on Highway 1416 in Quinn. That's going to be our office operation until, you know, if we have the opportunity to bid and be awarded the city of Wall, you know, and the transfer station, you know, that creates other opportunities, but regardless of whether, you know, that comes to fruition or not, you know, that's where our offices operation are going to be.
so you would be bidding on the
Absolutely,
solid waste and the transfer station?
100%.
Because those go together.
100%.
Okay, I just
And I've
wanted to
got an
understand.
extensive transfer station operations and I've been in this business a long time. I'm excited to bring options to the city of Wall, from a competitive standpoint, because competition's a good thing. It's the thing that allows, customers to get the best service at the best price. And I don't think there's been much competition in this market for a long time. And I'm a locally, again, I have 2 City of Wall residents as employees. And we're a local South Dakota business. And the investment that I make is in South Dakota, and the profits I make are returned to South Dakota.
Very good.
So we're coming. You're gonna see some changes. We're coming.
Awesome.
So Carol, if I understand it right, then it'll be open bidding sometime in May. Correct?
I will put the publication out in April. The committee reviewed just to kind of go over things, make sure everything was in order. And so I'm making those changes and I'll send it back out to them to review again. And then, yeah, plan to publish 2 months in April and to award bid on the May 23rd.
Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate you listening to my introduction and my spiel. I'm pretty proud of what we do. And we're coming.
Very good.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and that brings us then to Tim Hartman, KLJ. Thank you, gentlemen.
That's me. Thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight too. It's been a little bit. It's great to be over. I got a couple of things. I did pass out a quick bullet on a couple projects, with the main one being an update on your 4th Avenue street construction project. To maybe just kind of rehash a little bit of some recent events with that project, and then eventually an ask for it as well tonight. as you likely remember, design and development of the project has been ongoing for a while. We did open bids for that project, and there's a typo on my deal.
I see that.
Did you catch it? 11/28 of 23, the years are tricky there. We did open bids late last year. And then obviously just kind of working through some different financial needs and things like that for the project. Has been a little bit of time there. However, we have moved forward with the low bid of that, which was Holstein Excavating. We've notified Holstein Excavating that we intend to move forward with the project. With that, and kind of in conjunction with their planned schedule, and also just to bring the project back to life, we did have a pre-construction meeting with them on Monday, talked through the project, kind of talked through tentative schedule, which I'll talk about a little bit as well. But ultimately, the ask for tonight is to go ahead and sign and issue the construction contract and the notice to proceed for the project. With that, Holstein, they are planning to get the project started here very soon. I made a couple notes on here that discussion at the pre-construction meeting, they're, of course, pending tonight's formal action by the city council. They're planning to begin mobilizing to the site, even next week. So they would start with some saw cutting, removal, traffic control, and some of those things to get started. However, just a couple things to work through that we were actually working on today and we'll continue with tomorrow as well. We are just circling back and I guess kind of double checking, making sure that we're all set with the railroad permitting. For that, there was a lot of work done back in November, but revisiting that, making sure that's all set with the railroad being a main stakeholder of the project. And then also we did have some discussion on Monday about public notification, just with the stakeholders, obviously, of the elevator, the commercial and residential properties along the Fourth Avenue route there. So in summary, they're raring to go. We're ready to go. The project itself does have a completion of December. However, with some good weather and the start here very soon, Holstein's actually anticipating a much more aggressive schedule and completion than even that. So
Jim, I was really impressed with them in the pre-construction meeting. They seem really on top of things and very aggressive and
yep.
impressive.
I don't want to pick on us West River folk by any means, but they're East River guys and boy, they're efficient with what they sound like they're planning to do. So, I like our ways out here, don't get me wrong. They were fun to talk to. So, yeah, we are. I agree, Rick. It was good. We do have in our planning for on-site construction observation. I've got one of our longtime veteran CEA gentlemen planned to be over here and oversee the project. Of course, with my involvement and my team involvement, we may have, some other staff and interns pop in just to help out, but we are planning for Bruce is who I'm planning for to be on site for construction observation. And yeah, we'll like I say, take action after tonight's formal action by city council. Get that public notification and railroad permitting, a few tidy up things taken care of there and get the project going. One more thing worth mentioning is we do have the construction contract here tonight with the construction or the contract amount written as bid, just to stay in alignment with state bid laws. However, we are discussing and tracking some potential value engineering items, some different options that we think we can still get the same product for you, the city, however, maybe save a little bit of money as well. We will bring those forward with a potential change order here at likely your next meeting. So we'll keep working on that too. Anything else?
So you would like a motion to move ahead on that contract?
And the notice to proceed. Yes.
And so that's what is here on this document here that you have in front of you
Correct.
right now.
Yeah.
Is notice to proceed.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Rick.
Second.
Rick has moved and Stan has seconded to, go ahead and sign the contract for notice to proceed. Any other questions or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Same sign opposed, motion carries.
Can I throw two unforgotten comments out for you real quick? If you don't mind,
Is
just real
this
quick.
a small print or what?
Yeah, no, just real quick, I wanted to, I guess, make sure we made note of a few things that are not forgotten about. Echo Valley subdivision, that project, the construction is complete and changed or closed out, as far as the construction goes. However, just note, thank you to Carolyn and Garrett for their help. In the process of getting the project out and constructed, there was some finalization being done with county GIS and road names. The street signs that are up are actually incorrect. So we're aware of it. Like I said, thanks to Carolyn and Garrett for their help. We're gonna get new street signs here. Garrett's gonna help us get them up, and that'll all be resolved there too. Industrial Park, that's another one that is not formally closed out. I'm aware of that, tracking that, working closely with the contractor to just get that. We have the items all addressed. We believe there may be one minor thing with the lift station that we're following back up with. And then we just want to get that closed out and off your books too, so. That's all I had.
Okay,
Thank you all.
Indeed.
okay, that brings us to Travis Hershey then with Mead Hunt.
Council, Mayor, appreciate the opportunity for me to talk to you here tonight. I got 3 items I'd like to talk to you about. The first one's gonna be our Aegis contract. Second one's gonna be a little update on our runway project, where we're at on that. And lastly, I'm gonna give a plug for an airport conference here in South Dakota. So pretty easy one at the end there. So the Aegis contract here. So I believe you guys all received an email of the contract. That I think Mary's got a copy of that ahead of us, ahead of her here. So this contract is the contract that for me and Hunt to go to complete some of the aeronautical study that we went into, or that we got a grant agreement for back in 2023. So about a year ago, I don't know if you guys remember this, but we approved signing into to get a grant agreement for about $100,000 to complete this aeronautical study. The intent of this study is to do an as-built as a requirement with the FAA grant assurances. So essentially, when we accepted all this money from the FAA, we agreed that we would complete this aeronautical stuff as part of their FAA ACs. Their advisory circular, so basically just their requirements. It's really not a fun contract for me to come here and tell you like, all right, you guys are $100,000 to do an AGIS study. So what do you get at the end of it? You get an update on your Aegis system for the FAA. That's not very fun. But one fun thing that we will get out of this is you guys have this aerial imagery here. We'll be flying the airport and we'll get you some new imagery here. So we'll have a new image at the end of your airport. Not a great deal for $100,000. Don't get me wrong. But basically, we'll also be looking at obstructions. So part of this is, now that we have the runway in place, we want to make sure there's no trees, there's nothing in the way. We know this, that there isn't, we went through that with the ALP planning process. But this is the federal government we're dealing with here, so, you get a check 3 times, right? So, this contract here is for $99,712.99. 15,000 or 16,000 roughly of it is for the ALP and then closing out the grant. So we're doing a airport layout plan update to show the as-built conditions. And then the other, and that's a lump sum, so that's a lump sum amount that we have on that. And then the as-built survey part is $86,000. That is a cost plus a fee. I think it's about a $2,000 fee, and then whatever it costs. So you got, so there, if we're super efficient, hopefully we can do it a little cheaper than that. I guess at that point, if you got, I would be, I guess, recommending the council to go and execute contract with me and Hunt to complete these services here. Unless there's any questions on what this is.
So is this the agreement with?
Yep, that would be it, yep,
Okay. This is $100,000 agreement,
yes.
okay. Where's those dollars coming from?
I've got it
Good
here.
question.
So, great question here. So those $100,000 is going, like I said, we had that grant agreement, right? Or that we already have a grant agreement in place. So we actually have this funding secured already, so it's gonna be 90%, and actually, you know, that's a huge one for me to miss. I need to make sure I don't leave that one on the table, right? That's a huge one here. So
It's a
not,
small item here.
right, so, so 90% of it's gonna come from the FAA, 5% is gonna come from the state,
Okay.
and we're looking at about $5,300 locally. I've got it in my notes here, I just skipped over it. So so in the end, it's $5,300 locally, you know, once again. I don't even like saying $5,300 for a picture like that, but I mean, it's a nice picture, I guess.
So Carolyn, is this $5,300 in an airport fund somewhere or,
We do, you know, we put that
right?
12,500 over, that can always be used if we
Okay,
have to. So
all right. That's what I wanted to make sure that,
otherwise, we set it aside for things like this, you know.
okay, we have a pocket of money already in place that's gonna take care of this. Okay,
Well, I gotta say, that was kind of scary. I'm sitting here trying to remember, God, did we ever say we had $100,000 payment?
And then, just on a little, not to count, you know, your chickens before they hatch here, but we're coming to the end of our contract here with Western and our CACO. It looks like we're gonna be underrunning overall a good chunk, like probably 200,000 plus. So there's gonna be,
okay,
so that's not to count chickens before they hatch, but it's looking like, you know, there might be a little extra, those costs might be a little lower than we're anticipating at the sign of the contract. So,
well, that is good news.
you know, that's the fun one. I like being able to come and tell you that, be like, all right, so the project's done and under budget. So, is there any other questions on this here? Well, it will be subcontracting, I guess, with NV5, which is, you know, you got Quantum Spatial here, it's the same company, they renamed themselves, so it's the same company who's done some of this Aegis work in the past, so they have some experience out in there.
So technically, what you need is a motion to approve the agreement for professional services for airport project number.
Yep, that would suffice.
I'd make that motion.
Great, Stan, who would like to second that motion?
I can say, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, Jerry has seconded, he hasn't done anything. Okay, so Stan has moved, Jerry has seconded. Any other questions or concerns? Now that we figured out the 100,000, 5,300 and, okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Alright. Two other quick points here. So with the runway project, we opened back in the runway on December 8th. So we've got an operational runway. Seems like people are pretty happy from what I see. There's some people filling out the sign-in sheets and some great comments there. As for what we have left to do, we're gonna be looking to do some seeding and mulching, hopefully next week, actually. The weather's looking great. Get the seed in the ground, get some grass growing here. We have various miscellaneous items to address. There's some electrical things. Some of our edge lights are tilted a little bit. We need to go in and tilt them so they're pointed the right direction at the pilot when they're trying to land and not a little crooked. They're gonna be able to see the light a little better that way. Some and a couple sign panels that need to get replaced. They're the wrong color. But with that project, we'll be looking to finalize hopefully in April, May. And then we'll have, I'll probably come with the final change order for balancing quantities, make sure all our contract matches our final payments. And then final acceptance. So overall, in good shape there with, you know, we got an open runway here. So is there any questions on our runway project here? Any council members?
Are there any animal problems on the runway? Just curious.
I have not heard any. If there are, we should keep good documentation of that, like especially deer. That's like one of the scary ones. You know, there'd always be an opportunity to, you know, if we ended up starting to see a little too many deer, you know, good documentation on that would be good to keep track of, but I haven't heard of any problems.
Good.
On my end, so. All right, and then I got one last thing, the little plug for the airport conference here. So when there's a South Dakota Airport Conference that's put on by the DOT, and that is coming up on April 10th and the 11th. The conference here is basically all the airports in the state get together. They have it at annual conference. The FAA is there, the state's there. You get to hear you get to talk to other tenant or other airport managers. You know, you guys are all kind of in the same boat in that regard. So you can kind of talk through some of your frustrations and what's not working at your airport, what's working great, maybe you can talk to some of the other airports around. I know we really want to get some more tenants out at this airport, see what's working there on, so I think it's be a great opportunity to send some people to. I mean, Carolyn, have you gone to the conference before in the past? I wasn't sure or not to put you on the spot. If you
We
haven't.
were both gonna go. That one time we had it in Rapid, and that was the year of COVID, and we got there, and then we were told we had to turn.
Didn't quite work out.
They had it up there, but our mayor at that time did not want us
Sure.
attending it, so we.
So I was gonna make a plug for this again at our airport steering committee, maybe they can figure out somebody, if there's someone who'd be interested in going, but I think it'd be great to get Wall's presence there. Especially where we're looking to, maybe access from state of $14 to, build the taxi lane. And it'd be great to show you that support for the Wall supporting the DOT, just like the DOT and the FAA supporting us. So registration's $100 a person, and then I think hotels are 85, so there is a little expense there, just to.
And
just
this is
to-
where?
This is in Deadwood,
Oh,
yeah, so kind of a fun location as well. So, just a plug, then,
When was that?
what's that?
When was the conference?
It is on April 10th. So I think it's like a day and a half. All biases show here. I'm actually one of the presenters there. So I mean, for a half hour, you'll have to listen to me speak on some things, but it's a good opportunity to go meet some people there too, so. And that's all I got here, so appreciate it.
All right. Right. So that brings us to public comments. Time for members of the public to discuss or express concerns to the council with any issue not on the agenda. And we have a 3-minute time limit. Dan, are you up to timing? 3 minutes?
I don't need 3 minutes. I don't have any concern or comments. I just would like to remind you again, we have an annual meeting, anyone's have an annual meeting next Tuesday, March 12th at 6 p.m. here in the meeting room. We're not gonna have an election. Zach Hoffman is the only one who's running, so we don't have to have an election. So that's it. That's the last thing.
When is it again?
Next Tuesday. Like, well. Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
Very good.
Did you say 6:30, Lou?
6 o'clock.
6.
Got it.
Okay. That brings us up. Item number, good night, drive safely. Item number 13, permits. In front of you, you have building permit request from Darlisa Hare to build a house in Echo Valley subdivision. Jared, have you looked any of this over or?
Yep. It's good.
Okay,
You got quite a pile of gravel out there.
Yes, I asked John for a couple of loads and that's what I got. Yeah, the engineers, when they did that out there, they kind of did a blanket engineering for out there as far as the amount of engineered fill underneath foundations. So it is significant, but necessary, so. So yeah, big footprint means big rock.
When you start soon,
As soon as you guys sign off. You excavator.
We'll be over tomorrow.
Yep.
I'd make a motion and we approve the building permit, and do it here.
Second.
okay, it's been moved and seconded. I see that you're gonna start a shed first though, right? Or what's
Yes,
the
so
deal?
I asked Carolyn to put that on there. We're gonna, and actually, I should stand up here and ask, I was hoping to have 2 sheds out there during the time of building. just like portable sheds. And then one I would pull off when we're done building. One would be like, it would stay there, but the other one's just for storage. While we're doing the project, instead of having a trailer. So if I could have 2 trailers or 2 sheds out there during construction, I would appreciate it.
Does anyone have an issue with that at all? Okay. Any other questions you'd like Dar to answer? For us, since you made the effort to come to our meeting? Okay,
Looks good.
okay. The motion has been made and seconded. No further concerns. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good luck. We're excited. Okay, that brings us to an application from John Dietrichs. And I see we have 2 here. So John, would you like to talk to us about that?
Yeah, so as you may know, the house on this property of ours burned down on November 20th of 22. And we are just getting started here to rebuild. So I made an attachment on here showing what the original house size was. And then the new house is slightly larger. And so I hadn't been in this situation before where there'd already been a permit in the building and then a fire. If I re-pull the permit, if we just do a whole new one, if we do a difference of square footage or how we handle it. Just looking for the guidance from you guys of how to go forward about it.
So then, did you take, is the foundation gone?
Yeah, yep, foundation and everything is gone and all the original lot is all filled back in and compacted back up to original grade.
It'd be good by me.
But the point is, you did give us a permit fee of 600 the first time around.
Right,
This one is 1,500. So,
No, the 600, that's for the other house.
that's right.
Right. I think his question is, does he pay the full 1,500 or can he get the 600 applied?
right.
To what he,
Well, that's the question.
He would like some of it waived.
So I'm good with.
So that
Whatever
would,
you paid to begin with, that would stay there. It could be deducted off of this.
Okay,
Just
So-
the difference,
right.
900.
yep, yeah, that's what I was looking to see, you know, if any of the previous permit that was pulled from the house that burned down would be credited for the second one. Yep,
I think we should do that. I'm thrilled to see you rebuild it.
oh, yeah, thank
That
you.
was quite an event.
I'll make a motion to approve his permit and apply the 600 from his previous permit to the new one.
Second.
which would make it a $900 fee at this point.
Yep,
Okay, so it has been moved and seconded. Any other questions or concerns or thoughts? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
John. Thank you for what you do for our community.
Oh, yeah, glad
And
to
you
be part
too,
of it.
Dar. Thank you. Okay. Seeing no further permits this evening, that brings us to the chamber report.
Thank you.
See,
Good night, be safe.
Hello, I got your community design report, I think in your packets. It seems like it's been really busy lately the past couple months. So, the high school wrestlers are done and I think the little guys are just about done. I think they've just got, I don't know what region, did they just get done with regionals or?
Regions are each Saturday.
It's Saturday, okay, I know that they're at the bitter end for them too, so, they're just about finished up. Does anybody have any questions on the community center report? Yes? Okay, chamber stuff, we've got our Bring On Spring party on the 23rd, I keep wanting to say 24th. Had our first cornhole team sign up today, so I'm super excited about that. Anybody who signs up early, they're gonna get to go into a drawing for $100 of wall bucks. So again, tell everybody to get signed up. And, so that's on the 23rd, and then our annual meeting is going to be on April 17th at 5:30, so it'll be social hour. With, our meeting starting at 6. And then, we do have our, petitions, our nominating committee did have our 3 that they've chosen, and then there are petitions in my office, so if anybody would like to, nominate somebody that is one of my members, and then they have to, anybody who signs it also needs to be a chamber member. Those are in my office. And those are due the 25th of March. And let's see, what else do I have? Our next chamber luncheon is Tuesday, and it's gonna be here. And we're giving free lunch because everybody loves free lunch. So we used to do, we have, up until, this will be the first one that we're not doing it, giving away our $100 wall buck drawing, and that was to try to get people to come. And we decided free lunch was a better draw. So we're kind of switching over and doing that. And I think that, our chamber luncheon, I guess our next board meeting, I just found out today, both our president and vice president are gonna be gone. So I'm not quite sure when our next board meeting is yet. So I'll have that for you at the next meeting. And also, I was debating whether I should say this or not, but I will try not to stick my big old foot in my mouth. But thank you, the council, because I was recently put on a committee in New Underwood for planning some events. And it's been a struggle for us to put our town events in the community center. So thank you for always making our events a priority here. So. Yeah, I know, it's kind of surprising to me too, but I've never had an issue. So thank you for that, because that's a big deal. So I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. All right, that brings us to the Economic Development Director report.
I got one of these to pass around. This is what we've been working on in our last meeting, is an ad for the profit. Our main focus right now is trying to get some leasers for the shop that our developer is planning to build out in the industrial park. So been working on that and not having a ton of success finding people have some interest. So hopefully we can get some more interest or finalize on that. But we've been trying different marketing things, social media, put that in there. It's got the blueprints of what he plans to build, so people can get a better feel for what they would be actually leasing. And that was our main focus in our last board meeting. I want to do monthly business visits, so I started with Rick at Wall Drug, and he was very informative on kind of their workforce needs and everything that they have going on over there. So it's a pretty successful business in our town, and I made a little marketing video for that. Got that all going. Another thing I'm looking at doing is trying to get a local CDL program going here in Wall, because they made it really hard to get your CDL license. I worked with Western Dakota Tech, and the scheduling of theirs is pretty full-time schedule to get it done, and it's like $4,500. And then I reached out to Dar, actually, that was here earlier, and he mentioned maybe trying Lake Area Tech, so I'm gonna reach out and see if they have maybe a program that's a little less full-time and more feasible for people with work and kids, because I think getting a CDL is a really good thing in today's workforce. Another thing that I'm looking at getting going is a small business class through South Dakota State University. This is a class that we've done before, but it's been quite a few years, and some of the participants in it are, like John Dietrichs took it, and Stephanie Volmer. And so those are all business owners now. So it was a very successful course, and it's something I want to bring back now that it's been a few years since we've had some participants. So we're looking at doing that in the fall. Today I actually attended an economic summit up in Rapid City that's put on through Elevate, and that's, like Rapid City's Chamber and Economic Development. And they had a lot of interesting speakers there. One thing I took away from that is, Rapid City is the 36th fastest growing city in the country, which is pretty crazy for a little South Dakota, and hopefully we'll get some of that overflow here in Wall. And then I had my Rushmore Regional meeting as well today. And that was, really interesting. It's with all the different economic development directors from the surrounding towns. And one thing that came out of that is Black Hills Energy is a participant in the Rushmore Regional Board. And they're setting up a consultation for like perfecting our responses to these RFIs. I think I mentioned this to you guys before, but it did all go through. And so we'll have our site selection consultation on May 9th at 8 a.m. And that'll be just a professional consultation that just kind of provides better insight on how to market things like our industrial park, our housing lots, and how to respond to when we get those RFIs, requests for information. And then our next board meeting is March 27th at 6 p.m. You guys have any questions for me?
Would we check with the DOT and that, but I know they have an instructor for CDL.
Okay, yeah, cause that's one, okay, I didn't think of that, cause I think it'd be something really good if we could get it so people could go to work and then come do it in the evening, but if you do it through Western Dakota Tech, you basically have to have no job and money to do it.
I think it's, and if you go, I think they put it on somewhere East River and it's like, it's a whole.
I think that might be the Lake Area Tech one. That's why I was wondering if maybe I could get them to come over this way, cause Star said they kind of have an expedited process, but I do think it's something that would really benefit the workforce for adults and maybe even to get some of the students with the CTE expansion looking at it too, so.
Okay,
Okay,
Any other questions?
thank you.
thank you. Okay. Item 16 then, Carolyn, or would you provide us with an election update?
So we will have an election in Ward 2. Kelly has circulated her petition, and then Zach Hoffman also turned one in. And that will be held April 9th. And I will be reaching out to the candidates with a date for drawing name placement on the ballot.
Okay.
I've got to look at my calendar.
Was there a school board election or?
There is a school board election, 3 positions and 4 petitions circulated, so we will be combining. With that, both will be held here.
So that'll be the same day.
Yeah. Mhm. And so that's the reason, for 5 election board workers. Normally you would just have 3 for an election, but when you combine like that and pretty active, you really need to have more
Yeah.
people.
Should be a good turnout.
And so I would need approval of these 5 board members that I have listed, and also a pay of $250 for the day.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve this list of names? Cheryl Lester, Juanita Schrader, Jerry Johansson, Stacy Billmeyer, Doris Eisenbrown, and agreed to pay them $250 for serving on the election board.
Carolyn, isn't that a long day, like 7 to 7 or something?
That's when the polling is open, but they will need to stay and count afterwards, so.
And
I'm
what's that
thinking-
usually run?
Well, I've been telling, well, both Amy and I have been working together on the list, but 6:30 to start so that they can get
Sure,
their
sure.
instructions, and then try around 8 that night by the time they
Oh,
count
wow.
ballots.
So
Depends on
that-
the turnout, of course.
And the cost is shared with the school board too.
Yes.
Okay, do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Rick has moved
Second.
and Stan seconded. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
I am staying. I don't know if I need to, but.
Okay, Kelly has indicated she abstained. Motion carries. Okay, anything more for the election update? So then let's talk about item 17, equalization.
So we are required by state law to have hold an equalization meeting on March 18th, whether we have people or not. But I do have some appeals turned in already, so. As the time gets closer, well, let's see, where are we?
Well,
We won't have another meeting before this, so I will have to reach out to you. I don't know how many appeals we'll have. The deadline is the 14th at 4 o'clock. Typically, we've tried to get them all done in one night, just depending on how many there are as far as the time frame of starting. So I guess we know we'll have a meeting on March 18th, and as time gets closer, I will be able to post that on that Friday and let you guys know and be talking with you to see start time and stuff.
and you have plenty of documents for people to pick up at your office.
I do, yeah, they've changed them actually. It's not all on one sheet like it used to be. Top part was with the appellant or whatever you want to call them, filled out, and the bottom part was for partly the local board, and then up there, now there's 2 sheets. It's gonna keep me busy keeping that all filled out. But looks a little confusing. I'm gonna have to study it a little bit, so.
Okay, so we just need to schedule March 18th. You'll get back to us on a starting time schedule. And if it takes more than 1 day, so depending on your number.
And you say you have that, but if you,
I've got one turned in. I just meant, you know, whether you have them turned in or not, it's kind of crazy. Because you read the directions and it says they have to have them turned in by the 14th, but then you read in another spot, and it says that you have to hold the meeting the 18th. Which I don't understand why that is, because people aren't able to turn in after that, but
so
We'll follow.
when do
No,
you have?
from that night, you can't go and they didn't get that.
they have to turn their appeal paperwork in by 4 o'clock on March 14th.
Yes,
But in the statute, it also says that we have to have a meeting on the 18th. You have to hold a meeting. So if nobody turns an appeal in, I don't really understand why.
Oh, I
but-
see.
be a short meeting.
And you gather, start and end, but that's never been the case in my time here. So I don't think I have to worry about it, but
For sure. Okay, well, we're all good with March.
yeah, just keeping you updated on that, but we will have meetings.
Okay. That moves us on to the hay ground bid discussion.
I did receive a phone call with some interest, wondering when we were going to publish, you know, for the hay ground bid. And I'm not in that industry, so I don't really know when is the best time, so I felt it should be put on the agenda for you guys to talk about, but it sounds like if they are interested in spraying possibly, and that is up to the person who gets the bid, it's responsibility, that maybe we need to have this discussion and start the process. So just wanted to get your feel for it, and I did share with you guys a couple of maps. I tried to do the best we could, actually have Kendall working on that for me, so that you kind of knew what the current hay ground is that we can do, because we can't hay the Kirstead portion yet. They still have that in the background. But just so you'd know what it looked like in the future when we open that all up for hay.
So is it clear then how many acres?
I think it looked like, what's that?
So is there a total in the weight box? I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
One says 4,500
I think that's feet.
square feet.
Yeah, I think it's like 129, almost 130 acres of what can be out for bid this year. And then
Say that on,
Yeah, over
it's
here.
off to your right
Yeah.
hand side.
I see 148.
Next one up.
Yeah. Do you have 2 of them there?
129.
There's 2 separate.
Yeah. I just,
148 is the other side that's not
I think so.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Okay.
I was trying to do what she had to do.
Yeah, I'm just not,
So 130 would be where the alfalfa is already established, and then the 148 would be Kirsted's farm ground that hasn't been.
that'll be
planted
out
yet.
next year.
And that excludes where the lots are marked off. Is that true, or does it
Yeah.
include them?
No.
No,
it's
it's
moved.
marked.
Exactly.
So just thought I'd give you a visual, but are you, have any idea of starting that process now? And, I mean, do we put it out tomorrow in the paper and accept the bids like in the April 4th meeting? Does that give people opportunity to spray? I don't know anything about this, sorry.
When do we normally do it?
Usually been in May. But then I understand it gets to be too late.
Yeah, seriously, if they want to spray it, and that was a request.
Yeah, I think the sooner if we get it together, if you can get it.
So April 4th would be our earliest now, at this point, if you start tomorrow. Would-
Well, I believe so because I send it to the paper. It's not gonna come out until next week on the 13th. Our next meeting is the 21st. I don't know that that's out there in a long
Okay.
time frame. Are you thinking? So I think April 4th is gonna be the soonest that we can award bids.
The open bids on the. So you need a motion to go ahead and, advertise for, industrial park as well as the, what's that called?
Morningside.
Morningside.
Well,
And
yeah, and I don't know, what are your thoughts on the other portion of the airport? That's always been the wild. hay.
Yeah, I can't remember, what did we do last year? Cause it was.
Well, we let it go, but I don't know how much.
Yeah, but
they
now
got.
they've got brand new seating out there.
Is it all seated though?
Well,
No,
he
not
just said tonight he's going to seat it.
They're gonna start next.
And
week.
is that something you should be able to expect to hay that first week?
No.
Okay,
So it'd
I
be
really-
pretty much like last year where it was tore up. I mean, it'd be the same amount out there.
There's probably some acres that we could probably have
They cut
trimmed
it
up.
before they started. I think there's.
yeah, they were starting, there was construction when they were cutting it. We just, I don't, like I said, I don't know how much they ended up with it, but
Yeah, I don't think there'll be a whole lot out there.
Maybe that's a discussion, for the airport committee to talk about. And that's tomorrow, so we could let you know. Because.
there's no
Did you
spray.
drive it with, you drove it with Dave
Mhm.
Jedlicka too, out there. I think we better be careful.
Does the committee get the hay bid money?
City council.
Of course.
Not city council.
It's all a bag up
City.
to that seed or what?
Yeah,
But like that part of it didn't get awarded until, that was not good language, I'm sorry. If that does not get awarded until,
that could be later because it doesn't even need to be
gets
sprayed.
right.
That's grass hay out there. Am I correct, Stan? Whereas that's alfalfa out there in the industrial park. So that takes different, care. But really, I would like to reserve the right to have the airport committee decide that tomorrow. What should be hayed and we might just need to stay out of there this year. But you'll be there tomorrow, Garrett, right? Maybe, okay. All right, so let's go, is someone gonna make a motion to, go ahead and advertise hay bid for the industrial park
Or April?
for opening on April 4th?
I'd make that motion.
Jerry has moved
Second.
and Dan seconded. Any other questions or concerns? All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, carried. Okay,
I just said I think spring's gonna be here early.
Could be. Let's hope it's wet. Okay, item number 19, finance officer report.
So I'm just doing a follow-up. Myself and Mary are scheduled, I guess you want to say.
Registered.
We're registered, that's the word I'm looking for, registered for the district meeting in Hill City on March 27th. Didn't know if any of the rest of you guys had changed or decided to attend or anything. There's still time, if you plan to go. I'm hearing that as a no. And then, just wanted to just share information. So we had bid the propane for the winter at $2 a gallon. I noticed the tickets that were being turned in were at $1.59, and then it jumped up to $1.69, and I was feeling really kind of bad, thinking that they weren't charging us what they should be when we had bid it for $2. They said that the price of propane had not gone crazy like they thought, and so they would just give it to it at a price. So I just wanted to let you
Oh,
know,
wow, that's good.
we are not paying the $2. It's
Who do we-
any propane.
Who do we get that? Oh, Annie. Oh, awesome.
Any
I just thought
propane.
that was worth sharing with you guys, that we're not
I
paying.
think they would have decided again, there's $2.
Yeah, that's what it was approved at, and so, yeah. But just wanted to give you that information, and then, so I belong to a Black Hills Finance Officers Group that we attend locations, which I have not been a part of for probably a year now, just because of the conflict of my schedule. They were asking for someone to host it in March, our normal quarterly meeting, and I graciously volunteered to host it here, so it'll be next Thursday, in the meeting room from 10 to 2. I just wanted to share that with you. And then I wanted to request attending a SHRM conference that's being held in Pier, April 30th through May 2nd. I shared the information with you in your packet. I am a member of this SHRM. It's HR, human resource group and stuff.
Carolyn, will you get credits for your attendance?
Yeah, you do. I'm
Cool.
not sure who, who cares to look at that, but whatever, you know, I mean, yeah.
I mean, I think SHRM does get credits and you can, good organization.
So, it would be, I would leave. I'm not sure what time, the registration, I think it shows is like from 12 to 1 on the 30th, and it's a half a day then on May 2nd, full day on May 1st. So because of that, our normal council meeting should be May 2nd, but I don't believe I would be ready to do that. So my second request would be to change the May meetings dates. And there are 5 Thursdays in May this year. So my request would be to move to the May 9th and the May 23rd dates instead. Since I would be gone if you guys approve me attending that.
That would work for everybody.
What were the dates again?
May 9th and May 23rd.
Could we do it Tuesdays? I can get out of it, but I do have a conflict on both dates.
On both of those dates?
Yeah.
That's up to you guys. I mean, it's not a problem for me, but.
Could you be ready on the 7th?
Oh, yeah.
And then would the 21st work too? Does that work for everybody?
Would you have any school board things going on the 21st or?
Oh, I don't think there's something on the 21st. Let me see here. Maybe that's it. I gotta get it to May. Shoot. Let's see. That's maybe looking at the wrong one here. Sorry. No. Yes. Something, maybe that's, oh, I think it is in March 21st that I, oh boy, my dates are just crazy. That works for me, I think, if you guys,
Works for me.
Seventh and 21st.
Thank you.
Carolyn, do you need a motion for that?
I do, yeah.
I'd so move.
Dave's been moved to hold the May meetings on May 7th and 21st. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Mike has seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. So I'm assuming, I guess I would want to back up and do a motion to approve that conference for me to attend as well.
Term conference.
Second.
Okay, Stan has moved and Jerry seconded to allow Karen to attend the SHRM conference in Pier, April 30th and May 2nd. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. That is all that I have.
Okay, that brings us to Public Works.
We got the furnace in and working for the shop fire hall. It's really nice to, before we had a wood stove, so if we weren't there, it was just electric heaters running, so it'd be kind of interesting to look at the electric bill.
Garrett, what kind of fuel? Or is it
Fuel oil.
electric?
Yeah, fuel oil.
Fuel oil.
furnace, sorry.
Is that the best for heat?
It was just
The best for there.
yeah, best for there, because we didn't really have a place to put a propane tank or anything, so.
Very good.
And then I finally got someone to come and look at well one. There's a fan board that went out on there and he, came out and we helped him remove it and he found a retrofit kit for it for $6,295. So it's probably gonna be about $8,000 to fix it with he's out of Minnesota, so he happened to be coming to Fort Pierce, so he just charged us from pier to wall for mileage and then to take it back, put the kit in and then test it and then bring it back out. So just want to let you guys know that finally getting somewhere there. And other than that, we're just been busy cleaning up ruts from snow removal and putting parking curbs back.
So are we committing then to fixing that?
Our well won't run without it. But,
Yeah.
So do we need a
oh,
motion?
I suppose, yeah, it's over what you can approve.
Well, and I would say it's more of a, if he's got a plan and committed to doing it, we stick with it.
Because you kind of struggled getting somebody there for a long time, right?
I was almost at where I would take it out myself and haul it to Minnesota just to get somebody to look at it, but this guy.
Who did we have looking at him before? It was really good and they.
Well, this is different. This is well, it was at Weston Engineering and then Frank was his name.
It's not doing it no more.
And this is like, yeah.
I'd make the motion.
Okay, so
Proceed.
Mike moves to proceed to fix the part for well one. Do I have a second?
Second.
Dan is seconded. Any other questions or concerns? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I don't have anything else.
Okay. That moves us into the mayor report. First of all, I want to report that yesterday, a third governor's home arrived and was set on the foundation. So that makes 3 of them out there. Ron Strodine is the realtor for that, and I understand that there's one more governor's home that will be coming and, supposedly in April. So that means that of the 7 lots, that we extended Kelly Avenue for and then did Dorothy Street, all 7 of those lots are gone, will be gone.
That is fantastic.
In
And it's
1 year.
affordable housing.
And affordable housing. So with that being said, also Echo Valley, of course, has sold 2 lots. Dar being one of those. And Cheyenne is working with potential developers who would start building on the cul-de-sacs. Because that's a struggle for most people. They don't know how to build a house, so they've got to find a builder. And so Cheyenne's trying to make those connections, working on. And I know there's other people working, looking and asking about the other lots that are available outside of the 15 affordable homes. So our housing is working very well for us. Another item that was brought to my attention is Teresa from the observatory in Quinn called and asked if we would consider helping her recognize Dark Sky Week, which is April 2nd through the 8th. Dark skies are crucial for night sky programs that attract the tourists who visit our state in search of dark sky experiences. Now, personally, I remember my brother who was living in Washington DC. He came, and when we lived at the ranch, I found him sitting out on our front steps of the house at night. I'd go, "What are you doing out here?" He said, "I'm looking at the stars. I have not seen them for so long." So she has asked if we would consider doing a proclamation for her on March 21st, and also allow a banner to be displayed then the week of April 4th. She also mentioned that both Badlands National Park and Wind Cave National Park have pending applications to be certified, one of the 200 places worldwide that are certified as being dark sky places. So I think with Badlands are seeking that we would want to be supportive of that. And it just promotes lighting that lights the ground instead of polluting the sky, the stars, I guess. So is there any issue with us doing a proclamation for it and then allowing a banner in town to recognize Dark Sky Week?
I think that'd be wonderful. And isn't the Badlands one of the best places to see dark sky?
They
Which I
do
think-
programs down there.
Yeah,
We went last summer to their night program. I was pretty amazed with it. It was pretty neat. They had that, and they were talking all about Mars and stuff, and we did that, International Space Shuttle. After we went over, and you can see it plain as day, and I've seen it several times and wondered how come the plane wasn't flashing lights and stuff, but it passes over us every night, and you can see it up in the sky. It's a pretty interesting program they put on. They turn all the lights down there and it was dark.
Cool. Okay, so no issue with that? Okay,
that's
we'll
awesome.
move it. I'll tell her we'll move ahead with that then. And also, just to give you some update on some meetings, we are meeting, the Prairie Village group, it continues to meet with the staff from the Petty County Housing Authority. We met February 20th. We set some goals. We were discussing continued concerns about safety at Prairie Village. We will be meeting again here soon. But Garrett, would you share with us about the fire alarm that you experienced on Saturday? Tell us about
Yeah,
that.
the Saturday we had a fire alarm. The first fire alarm was at 10 o'clock. And it was, somebody burnt their chicken. And so then we went and reset the alarm, and then we had another alarm at, I think it was like around 3. And when we got there, there was no we couldn't hear an alarm anywhere, so I don't know really what happened. No, 3 in the afternoon, sorry, 3 p.m. And so right after that happened, I got the numbers from Mary and I contacted the people in charge of there to let them know, and they responded back that they would let their supervisor know, and I also told them this will be the last time that we reset that alarm. Because like, it worries me that if we go in there and reset that alarm and we shut it off or do something wrong, there is a fire and then it doesn't go off and then it's on us, so.
So that means one of their staff, number one, will have to come from Rapid City to do that. And in those discussions that we're having with that group, we have asked them to please consider doing a smoke, a heat alarm instead of an alarm that the burnt chicken or burnt popcorn can set off. So that's one of the discussion items we're having. One of our intentions is that Penny County Housing Board meets the third Wednesday at 4 o'clock in Rapid City, and I think someone from Wall is gonna need to be there from now until September. Because we are requesting that they make, apply for a HUD designation, that it would be just for senior citizens and not some of the, not beyond elderly, so that we can indicate that we do have a safe place here in Wall for our retired folks that would look to that for a place to go when they need to move out of their home. So that discussion is going on, and I'm just making you aware of that. We're also having an airport steering committee meeting tomorrow at 10 o'clock, and Rick is bringing donuts. And also we're gonna have Travis talk to us about, I wanted to share with you that Travis Fripp recently helped, and I think Kendall, was were you the one that lined up to get Travis to get the pilot from the airport downtown? Because there was a pilot that was flying.
Garrett question. I just made the phone call.
Okay, Garrett, okay,
Yeah, Kendall
so,
called me and then I called.
I didn't know
Trevor.
if I should go.
okay,
get
so
out.
the Trevor, oh, I said Travis.
Oh my
You're trying to
God,
confuse me,
myself.
like- Yeah,
What's the name burger shows?
So Trevor was telling me that this pilot was flying, his company said he'd been flying 9 hours, he had to stop and rest. So he chose to sit down here. So then Trevor went out, picked him up, brought him, he stayed overnight in a motel. Kind of did a zip around town, probably had an evening meal and then flew out. So that was fortunate that this airport was here and able to land that particular plane. So that's what's going on with the airport. And Stan, you'll be able to be there, you have that on your schedule, right? And then we had a pre-construction meeting on Monday, and that's what Tim Hartman was reporting about. 4th Avenue, and it's exciting how soon they're gonna start on that, and what their real completion date that they've got targeted. We have, we signed, because you approved us to do that, we signed the Reed agreement for the loan. And, we have not heard one thing back from Red Lake yet, so we're not sure where we're at that. But, Carolyn did work with Brett at First Interstate Bank, and we have a verbal agreement for a short-term construction loan if we need that to fill that gap in funding that we have after we spend the DOT dollars, our cash dollars, and then, before the Reed money will be coming in. Also, we had a planning and zoning, meeting, and there was a request to rezone. But after we had our meeting, with our consultant, as we're working through, redoing the zoning ordinance, we found out that we did not properly notice that particular zone request, because according to the ordinances that we have in place right now, what we should have done is, besides the 10-day notice in the paper, we also needed to post a sign on that land and also send certified letters to the landowners around that, which would be the Frontier Cabins, Joe Leach, Rhonda and Jody with Badlands Storage, the vet, and Michael Ludemans. So we did not do that, so to avoid being vulnerable, we have notified Hanson's that we made an error. They will need to resubmit their request, and so the action that we took there is null and void because we did not follow our own rules. And we will be doing our next planning and zoning meeting. I forgot to write that down, but that'll be coming up soon because we are learning a lot by working with this consultant and trying to complete the redo on that ordinance and pull some of the things out of other ordinances that fit into that zoning ordinance so that when somebody does come in and apply for a building permit or whatever, all of that is in one ordinance and not spread out through several others. So what is the date of our next planning and zoning?
March 19th, 1 PM.
Okay, that's when we'll be meeting again. Okay, with that, is there any questions or concern? With that, okay, quickly,
1 PM. 1 PM.
1 p.m. Moving forward then, does anyone have any other items for discussion, but no, action will be taken? The next city council meeting will be March 21st at 6:30 PM. And we have a need for executive session.
So I just have a question on the March 21st meeting. I noticed, I got a couple of notices that the DOT is having a public meeting
Here,
in the community center. It's what it says, and that's Thursday, the 21st at 5:30.
And it goes until 7 o'clock.
oh,
And that's the one about those interstate closures.
Yes.
but it starts at 5:30. So so would we attend that at 5:30 and then come to the city council meeting?
I think it's gonna last a little longer. than
Well, I can't imagine I'm gonna get out of here at 7.
No. Got a lot of people in enough for and it's. I think it'll be very crowded here probably.
But it's not in here, it's over there, right, Grand Hall, right? Okay. So,
And was this the time that we could ask about the sign? I'm sorry, the sign bugged me.
No, I don't think so.
no,
This is just actually consulting.
Okay.
That works strictly on,
the exits, right?
right.
Okay.
And we've already had one Zoom meeting with those folks, but this is gonna be the ag people are gonna show up in droves.
You know, I think it will be I think when we had that conference call at one time, I ruled there was a DOT person there, but then I don't think that would be,
Okay.
but I'm not saying we change it, I'm just.
We just need to remember to come early and go to that meeting first. And listen to what they say to begin with. Would you agree, or?
Well, I would agree, I guess we. I won't be
Because
there.
we can't really
I'll be
change.
on Zoom, but,
We-
Can we carry the all?
but I guess we could be there an hour and then.
Yeah.
You guys could be there an hour and then just come to the meeting.
Right.
I
Okay,
probably will stay at this meeting. I'm having customers call and want Dakota Mill representation. Besides just the farmers, they want some businesses to use them roads. Too, if I do wanna go, I'll probably go to the New Underwood the night before just to learn more about it than anything else.
okay. All right. So, but good thing, Stan, that you brought that up. So will you notate that to send a reminder when you do the packet, Carolyn, that at 5:30, that other meeting would be going on in Grand Hall? We'd like to listen to that. Okay. So with that being said, we have a need for executive session.
I make a motion, we go into executive session for legal personnel issues according to SDCL 1-25-2.
Site number 1.
What?
Section 1,
Section 1.
right there. Okay.
Okay.
Do I have a second for that motion?
Sorry.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So here, could we work with Kate first, and then we'll come back to you? Okay, we'll call us out of executive session. Does someone want to make a motion relative to the personnel?
I would make a motion that we increase Ashton wages to 27 per hour, retroactive to February 1st.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Mike has seconded. Any further discussion or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Is there any other tonight? Item number 27? Hearing and seeing none, I declare the motion adjourned, or the meeting adjourned.
When is their next?